What's up, bro? I genuinely hope you're doing well. Today I want to talk about something that, to be honest, has troubled me for so much of my life. I never really have felt, until recently, like I've not been alone. Maybe it's because I've had massive only child syndrome, but growing up, once I started to develop consciousness, it was a bad combination of the friend groups I was around never felt real. They were quite toxic. My parents were either too busy or didn't show enough interest. And this is not me ragging on my parents. They're lovely people. But the circumstances dictated that they couldn't give me what I needed. And I started to develop this lone wolf mentality, but not in a good way. It was all a cope. And to be honest with you, I never really felt like I had a home with my parents, with my friends. I didn't know what real connection felt like. And it got to the point that when I started improving myself, when I started to want to find that, or at least subconsciously seek it out, it didn't matter what I did. I got into a relationship with, to this day, one of the best women I've ever met. And we had a really healthy relationship. But I felt alone in that, no matter how close we got together. And that led for me trying to get as close as possible to this person, and I still couldn't get rid of this feeling. At university, the people I'd spend my time around, I spent a whole year trying to be the most likable person, and people liked me. I was liked on the course. Every single person was a friend to me, but I still couldn't get rid of this feeling. I got closer to my family, but I still couldn't get rid of this feeling. Because I kept realizing that no one was truly like me, and no matter what I did, no matter how hard I tried, I still couldn't get rid of this feeling. And bro, if you have the same thing, I need to tell you first that it's not going to go away. It's not going to go away because what you're searching for doesn't exist. What you're searching for, this feeling of actually being connected to someone, it doesn't exist because it's a false thing you've created in your mind based on something you didn't have when you were growing up. It's false because people aren't really ever connected. You can have moments of feeling like you are, maybe having a really engaging conversation. And don't get me wrong, I've had moments of feeling connected, but it never lasts. And that's because you feel connected. It's based on a feeling. And bro, what do we know about feelings? They don't last forever. All feelings change. That is the ultimate truth that we know. You have moments of feeling like maybe you have a brother or someone that is genuinely yours in a way. But then the next day you could feel so lonely in their company. The only thing that's changed is you. The reason why people are never really truly connected is because everyone is experiencing the universe through their own set of lenses. You can get windows into how someone else sees the world, but it will only ever be a window through talking to them, through trying to understand them. But you will never know what it's like to be that person. They will never know what it's like to be you. And subconsciously, a lot of people understand that if they've had an upbringing of feeling socially connected. I don't know if you ever noticed, bro, but you know people that don't seem to have problems like I'm discussing now. Maybe in school they were a part of a good friend group. They were raised well by their parents. I've noticed, but from observing these type of people, that they're usually just quite content with themselves, as in they don't seem to analyse themselves as much. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I envy it, to be honest. They don't really care about how they're perceived in social situations. They kind of are comfortable to act however they want to act, no matter who they're around. They're not really social chameleons in a way. And from my observation anyway, and I think that's really interesting, because I'm the complete opposite. And I'm sure you are too, bro. And that's because they've not had to feel what we feel. And they subconsciously know, I think. I think they know about how people aren't really connected like what we're searching for. But they're okay with it. Because what we're searching for, bro, is too much. No one can give you that. You can't give it to anyone either. Everyone has to take away a bit of themselves for themselves. That's the game. That's always going to be how it's going to be. You see, people exist as a bundle of needs and wants. That's all we are when you break it down. And what friendship really is an exchange of values. I don't want to talk about it in some pragmatic sense, but that's what it is. And the exchange of value could just be, you make me feel good, you make me laugh, I enjoy that you listen, I enjoy your advice. And it could be vice versa. That could be the roles that you present. Because it's not about becoming the other person's universe. You can be similar to the other person, you can see it in a similar way, but it's still a different lens. It's about what can you add to my universe. You need to stop searching for this connection that's like no other. You will find people. Eventually you will find a person that you get on with like no one else, and that is a beautiful feeling. But if you don't keep your mind in check, you could still feel lonely in their company. That will never change, bro. But what you have to do is work on yourself. Well, that's such a throwaway answer, but what I mean is you have to be okay in your own company. Before you can be okay in other people's company, you have to be okay in your own. And that starts with respecting yourself and knowing you're doing the right things. Because if you don't respect yourself, if you're not okay in your own company, you're going to be chasing social validation to distract yourself so much that those minutes that you're alone, you're going to fold in on yourself, and that is terrible. I've been there. I enjoy my own company, but I couldn't even stand it at times, which is not what my personality needs. Brother, friendships are just exchanges of values, and most people know that. And it can seem almost petty and fickle. You see people interacting and they had their little conversations, their little small talk, and then they leave. That's okay. Maybe you interact with a stranger on the street and the only thing you do for each other in your entirety of your lives is you have a nice conversation and you never see each other again. That's okay. Sometimes the best connections are the ones that don't mean that much. Because the moment we stop putting labels on things is the moment we start to living. The reason you feel alone, bro, is because you've been conditioned to feel that way through your life, but you're not. You will find quality friends and they will make you feel connected, but first, learn to be okay in your own company, or you will feel alone forever. Thank you for taking the time to come to this video. I appreciate you. Say less, do more.